The United States has become obsessed with the idea of sugar substitutes to help lose weight or ensure limited to no weight gain. As scientists in the food industries work hard looking for a healthy and safe sugar surrogate, as a country they continue to bash their old friend cane sugar. As much as they want to appreciate their diet sodas and weight loss sugars, they forget that everything is about moderation. First, let's talk about real sugar. A safe daily sugar intake is between 6 to 9 tablespoons, but the average sugar intake in America is 22 tablespoons. As a country, Americans have bypassed and overlooked the healthy amount of sugar for individuals to consume, and that's our fault. Yes, sugar is addictive, and it's in everything, but that's only because we as a country have allowed it to be put in everything. Now, instead of limiting sugar, we've begun gorging on artificial sugar substitutes. There are multiple sugar substitutes to choose from. However, because of all these choices, it has become difficult to navigate which ones are safe to consume and which ones aren't. Let's talk about aspartame. Aspartame contains methanol, which is a chemical that, if consumed in large quantities, can be toxic. But according to the European Food Safety Authorities, the sweetener aspartame and its breakdown products are, in fact, safe. Aspartame has been approved and on the market since 1981, and according to the American Council on Science and Health, it is 180 times sweeter than sugar. Because aspartame is much sweeter, not as much of the substance is needed, so the calories are fairly low. Although it is a low-calorie sweetener, aspartame has been linked to diabetes, headaches, seizures, depression, and arthritis. Too many synthetic and artificial sugars contain dangerous chemicals, and if consumed in large portions, it can seriously hurt your health, especially your heart. Though some sugar substitutes can be a health risk, most artificial sweeteners provide a longer shelf life, which is a large advantage. Shelf life is crucial to large majority of candy and sweet drink manufacturers. So producing these sweet treats containing artificial sugars can save them some serious money. After all the back and forth research on artificial sweeteners, people began questioning whether there were any natural alternatives to sugar. And there is. There are sugar substitutes that are natural and have proven to contain serious health benefits. Many have found that there are a large number of health benefits to the natural sweetener stevia. Researchers have found that that stevia is an anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory. One thing most people don't know is that raw cane sugar is a healthy alternative to its dyed-white sibling. Raw sugar isn't as touched and processed as regular cane sugar. Raw sugar has about the same amount of calories as sugar, but 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar doesn't have any measurable nutrients. Raw sugars contain a trace of calcium, iron, and potassium. Raw sugar is much tastier to some people and has some serious health benefits. As informed by the International Food Information Council Foundation, the American Diabetic Association states that sugar in moderation are part of healthful eating. So maybe instead of blaming sugar for the health risks many Americans suffer from, our country should teach self-awareness and discipline. Our bodies need sugar, but not in large doses. Sugar is addictive, and it tastes delicious. Sometimes we eat way too much, and if that's the case every now and then, that's okay. What's not okay is constantly eating sugars and never consuming any real nutrition, because that can and will end in heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and so many other scary health risks. Cane sugar has been receiving hate for a long time now, as Americans blame it for weight gain, diabetes, mood swings, and so much more. But in moderation, sugar is okay. The hardest thing for many people is to limit their sugar intake. So instead of educating themselves on self-control, they beg and plead for alternatives that will help them lose weight and decrease chances for diabetes, while also satisfying their urges for sweet foods and drinks. Real sugar was never the problem behind the United States' health issues. The real threat to health is never learning or being taught to limit our consumptions. We should learn to eat only when hungry or when wanting a snack, to measure it out to make sure we're not overeating. Everyone sometimes eat when they're bored or they're just craving a certain food. We're all guilty of that. And every now and then, that's 100% okay. The biggest problem is when we find one food and blame all our health risks on that, because blaming one food is not going to stop America's health problems with diabetes, obesity, and serious heart conditions.